you are only going to not only waste your time, but make things even worse if you send that emotional text to your avoidant ex. I know that there's a part of you that is trying to do everything that you can to see if there's a chance of you guys being able to work things out. Or maybe you are just trying to see if you can get some type of closure as to why the relationship ended the way it was. And if there's a chance that you guys again can work things out in the future or whatever that might be. They are not going to interpret it that way. They are only going to interpret it the way that they want. And chances are it's only going to feed that avoidant narrative because they will look at that as validation as to why they are treating you the way that they are. They'll look at that and say, well, look, they are just simply getting too close. They're on me too much. Like, this is why I have to pull away from them. But in actuality, this is a normal response to somebody losing someone that they love, that they try to do everything that they can. They try to see if they can work things out. And they simply don't see that. They look at it as a way to validate that feeling that they have where they want to pull away because they don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to open up to you. And they feel like you are encroaching into their safety bubble. What you also will normally see happen is that they will feel like they have you on the hook. They will feel like at any point in time, on a flip of a dime, they could simply just decide to say, you know what? I've gone out there, I've explored things, and I don't like what I'm seeing. I'm just going to simply go back to this person. And when you reach out to them, that's kind of feeding that side of them that is feeling like they always can revert back to you, which is something that you should not be giving them validation of. Because at the end of the day, no matter what partner you're with, they should be choosing you as their number one. And with an avoidant, they usually at this time will discard that person as being someone as a backup plan, right? Because all they simply have to do is just open up a little bit and express some emotions, and you're going to essentially fall for it because there's a part of you that is so vulnerable because you do genuinely love this person and you really do think that this is an opportunity for you guys to work things out. But all the while, this is just a game for them. This is them just continuing to do their avoidant thing where they simply get bored or they realize that they have something valuable in you and they simply go back to you because you are some form of comfort to them. It's so important for you to wake up to this reality because I know you're doing this with good intentions. You really genuinely want to try to work things out. And there's a part of you that feels that if you don't reach out to this person, that they're just simply going to walk away and forget about you and you will never have a chance. But I want you to understand that that's a good thing. It's a good thing because you should not have to be put through this. You should not have to continue to be put through this cycle and game when there are real life emotions that are being handled here, right? Like your emotional stability, the way that you feel, the love that you have is not something that should be taken for granted. It's not a game. This is real life. And they simply do not respect that because they are just so self-centered in what they want and wanting to manipulate things to fit that narrative. They don't genuinely care about how much this is hurting you. And that is what you have to realize. You are essentially taking back your power. For so long, they have held hostage of this because they've manipulated you to make you feel like you were the problem, that there's something you're doing, and all the while, it's all on them. You did everything that you possibly could under the sun to figure this out and try to work it out, and they simply didn't want to do that. And by you reaching out to them, you are essentially giving your power to them. They feel validated that they can continue to get away with this stuff and there's not going to be any repercussions. There's not going to be anything that, they have to worry about. In fact, they can go out and do whatever they want with whoever they want. And again, they'll have you in the back burner to say, okay, well, I'm done with this. Now I want to go back to someone that I know is going to do everything that I want because they think that they're controlling you. But in actuality, there's a part of you that really genuinely loves them. And of course, you are being manipulated, but this is all because of the love that you have for them, but they don't view it that way. They feel like they have some type of sense of control over you. Not all avoidants have this negative mindset of doing things like that, but these tend to be what you typically are seeing when you're dealing with somebody who's an avoidant. And it's so important for you to be woken up to this because you are going to be expressing some of the most vulnerable and deepest emotions that you're having, thinking that you're going to finally wake up and realize like, this is a good person that I want to be with. But in actuality, if you even get a response, they're probably going to say something that is just going to make you more frustrated or be so disrespectful to how you're feeling and just simply push you away or try to pull away from you. And you don't deserve that. I understand that people may get to a point where they feel like the relationship is not for them, but there's a way to go about it. There's a way to handle it. And if somebody feels like the relationship is just not for them, you can respectfully move on and you can let the person know. But that typically is not what happens with an avoidant. They're simply going to string you along. They're simply going to make you feel guilty and, make you feel like it's always been you and they had no role in this. They've been perfect. They've tried to do everything, but you know the truth. You know who has been putting so much time, energy, and effort to make things work. And they need to realize that they are losing a great and amazing person. And they will. But the first thing that you need to do is to go no contact with them and understand that there is no message that you are going to send to them that is going to wake them up. They simply have to do this on their own. And the way that they're going to do this is first, realize that they are actually being an avoidant. Two, want to actually work on fixing this. And three, actually taking the actions to do this. And this can be very, very hard for an avoidant because it is some of the most challenging things that they're going to have to work through. They're going to have to bring up whatever it is that they've had to deal with that has caused them to be this way, and they're going to have to work through it. I hope that you did enjoy today's video. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.